Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Victory Drive. This week I got on my buddy, Jordan Jones. I know you guys all know him. He's our little Southern Belle from North Carolina, and he is the host of Hunting the Mason Dixon. You know, he's another team member of the Working Class Bowhunter Network. So he's doing a great job down there. Awesome podcast if you guys are interested in like Southern hunting and Southern values, or you know, whatever you guys do in the South, being hot and muggy, talking weird, all that stuff. He covers all of those topics, everything about, you know, just Southern traditions, all that good stuff. Hunting the Mason Dixon. Make sure you guys go check it out. And yeah, so let me see here. Topics discussed. I guess we talked quite a bit about just like kind of hunting in general. You know, he does a fair bit of gun hunting down in North Carolina. So we talk quite a bit about that. We talk about youth hunting and late season hunting. Just a lot of really good hunting topics covered with Jordan today. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. As I'm saying or talking here, let me think here. By the time this drops, we will be in Kansas. Ashley and I are going to Kansas. We will be right in the middle of hunting in Kansas, unless, so I guess if I tagged out on like day 1 or day 2, then maybe we'll be heading back to Iowa. I don't know. But we'll be in the middle of our Kansas hunting trip. So got that to look forward to, hunting down there with Peanut from Small Town Hunts. He's a great guy, very great guy. He does a lot for Working Class Bowhunter podcast guys as well. And me too. Like we met him at some of the trade shows, and just a stand-up dude, just really, really solid guy. He's got really great ground and really good deer in Kansas and Kentucky. So if you guys are interested in, you know, an outfitted whitetail hunt, make sure you check out Small Town Hunts and hit up Peanut. He'd love to take care of you. So check him out. What else we got? We got Grizzly Coolers. Grizzly Coolers, Victory Drive, partners. Great stuff. You guys want to go check out Grizzly Coolers. You need something, a receptacle to keep your cold shit cold and your hot shit hot. Check out Grizzly Coolers. And they also have, you know, hunting blinds and really good apparel, drinkware, all the above. Check out grizzlycoolers.com and use code WCB at checkout to save some money and support the show, not just the show, but also the entire network. So check them out. They're great people. And if you want to further support the show, Victory Drive specifically, you can check out the Victory Drive's Patreon, or, you know, YouTube or Instagram, Facebook, all the good things, all the things. Make sure you're following along, checking it out, subscribe to the podcast. If you could, you know, just tell a friend about it. You know, that actually helps out a lot. So that's pretty about it. Enough for that soapbox stuff. Hopefully you guys are still grinding out there if you got tags, and getting ready for gun season if it hasn't started up yet. And, you know, just getting ready to, you know, I guess really just finish strong. We're kind of getting right. We're smack dab in the middle of hunting season. Nice for Iowa. Like, Iowa deer season ends January 10th or 11th, I think. So we are like right there. We don't have very much time left. We're getting close to the end. So if you guys are also getting close to the end, I wish you very good luck. And if you still have a tag, I hope you fill it. I really do. I hope you just find the deer of your dreams and you can wrap that tag around it. And if you don't, well, we've all been there and it sucks, but you'll make it. You'll make it through the off season and into the next season. So just stay positive. Might take a few days, might take a few weeks, but you will make it through. You'll be stronger at the end of it. All right. Hope you guys enjoy this episode. Thank you all for listening. Goodbye. Jordan Jones, how you doing, buddy? Fucking A.
Oh, man, after all the technical difficulties,
Sheesh.
like I just said, over 200 episodes between the two of us, and you'd think we'd have this shit figured out by now, but we're only human.
Yeah, I know, dude. You'd think by now we'd have it all figured out, but yeah, it's no, I don't know. It is what it is.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
You live
Jordan,
and you learn.
sometimes you just got to work through the bullshit and figure it out. You know, Riverside didn't work with Doug last night, and now it's not working with you very well. So it's like, I don't know if it's a Riverside issue or if it's just like a multitude of like internet. I think my internet did crash earlier. So I think it's just like something's in the air. Not really liking Jake right now. And I don't know what it is. I don't like that.
They don't want you podcasting right now. They want you outside trying to kill shit with a gun.
Yeah, that's what they want. I can't kill shit with a gun right now, but I will.
Oh.
That opens up Saturday.
Oh, and in Iowa opens up Saturday, first gun?
Yeah, well, actually, by the time this episode launches, it will be right in the middle of I'm in Kansas, actually. So,
going to Kansas. I hear you. That deer right there is a Kansas buck. That's my biggest Kansas buck. And then I got my Kansas, the third one down, not that one, but the next one down. That's a Kansas buck. You'll like Kansas. It's just like Iowa, but less trees.
Okay. Yeah.
But I mean,
more prairie.
I know where you're going. There's actually a lot of there's a lot of trees where you're going. I know where you're going, but it's I'm telling you, you'll do well because you've hunted that type of terrain your whole entire life. Kansas has its own type of whitetail, and then the time of year that you're going, don't be surprised if you see a lot of broken up deer.
Oh yeah, no, I'm already expecting that. I mean, that happens in Iowa too all the time. Just kind of is what it is. But I will say also,
what boomstick you taking?
Well, I'm going to take my 30-06 and my 35 Whalen because I bought a 35 Whalen finally.
You did. You finally did it.
I got one. I'm super excited about it. It all depends on if I can get it sighted in before I'm going to get it sighted. I'm going to try to get out tomorrow and zero it. And, hopefully it all goes well. And then it's just bada bing, bada boom. But I'll be using that bad boy and or my 30-06. But I'm going to be selling that 30-06 here pretty soon. So that's the reason why I bought the 35 Whalen. Yeah, I would have had the 30-06 sold already, but I kind of wanted to keep it around until after Kansas, just in case that 35 Whalen didn't get in. So, but I'll probably take the 30-06 more just because it'll kind of be my last hunt with it, and then I'll be off.
You're gonna kill your biggest buck of your life, and you're like, you know what? I'm not gonna sell it. I'm just gonna hang this up with the last deer that I kill with it. That's honestly, you need to retire it in good fashion and not get rid of it.
Yeah, that would be a cool story.
It's with where you're going. There's some absolute giant whitetails in that area. The guy's badass, and he's gonna put you on one. You're gonna kill something giant. I'm ready for victory drive. I
hope so. Man. I'm going to be going out there with Peanut from Small Town Hunts. He's one of the boys, dude. Peanut's the shit. We've hung out with him at a lot of the trade shows. He's been to quite a few trade shows now, but I'm trying to remember now. I think I met him at the Ohio Black Gate Bash. Whitetail Social. Yeah, the Whitetail Social. Yeah, I call it Black Gate Bash.
That's where I met him.
Kind of a cooler name, if you ask me, but
I like that.
But yeah, the old Black Gate Bash.
Peanut, for y'all that don't know, he is a true blue country boy from the hills of Kentucky, and he is a deer killer himself. He got in good with some people, and dude, he's got a hell of a damn outfit. You need to look up Small Town Hunts. I was talking to him the other day about, so where I hunt in Kansas is only an hour south of where you're going to be. And it's like 57 minutes to where he said his camp is to where I always stay is 57 minutes. So that's why I was like, hey, I know the area. It's the same type of area and the same unit and everything. And I'm probably going to go to Kentucky with him next year and may go to Kansas. I'm going to Kansas next year with a bow, so I may go up there. And if I'm struggling, I might say, "Hey, Peanut, find me a 5-year-old 140. I want to go shoot one."
Right? Yeah. When you go out to Kansas, you usually just pound public, or you have
No,
some
I've
knock on
got
door shit, or
no. We Dad and I. So Dad met a guy out there at a gas station, basically, and the guy said, "Man, I'd hate to see you drive all the way out here from North Carolina and not get one," because Dad was hunting public at the time. He said, "I got a piece of private that you can come hunt." Well, that guy basically took Dad somewhere, and I'm like, "Well, I'm coming next year," and I go out there the next year. I meet the same guy. That guy introduced me to a guy. Well, some things kind of happened or whatever, and I got in really good with the farmer's grandson. Well, kind of like put him on a really big deer that he killed, and he's like, "You have total access to all my farms," and he's got a lot of acreage, and so my dad just got back from Kansas about a week and a half ago, killed about 140-inch 10-pointer, was ready to come home pretty much after being out there for 2.5 weeks, let a lot of good bucks go and get away, but that we've got a really, 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 really good track of private out there. So that's why I told Peanut, and I said, because he said, "Hey, when are you going to come to Kansas and hunt?" And I said, well, man, I've got a really good piece of private in Kansas, but it's not far. So I'm not doing good. You might have to hook a brother up. That's pretty much what it's going to be. But I've hunted Kansas with a bow twice now. I'd like to go out there and reach out there and try to touch one. I'd like to reach out there and try to touch one, and when I would like to do it. So I'm gonna buy one of those CVA Enduras, where that shoots rifle powder now, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm building one of those. And unless Thompson Center decides to come out with a long range muzzleloader, because I like Thompson Center way better than I like CVA, but CVA kind of rules the big box store type of guns for long range muzzleloader. So when they come out with a Paramount, now they have the Endura. So I'd like to go do early muzzleloader out there. I mean, you can go in late August and chase giants or early September. So I don't know. The farms that I have in Kansas, they would have been really good this year because everything was beans, and I didn't know that because they've never planted their farms in beans, and so I was like, man, I could go to Kansas this coming year with a bow, or I can save those couple preference points and just put in for early muzzleloader because they'll rotate the crops, corn, beans, and I'm like, I could go out there for a week in September with a daggum boomstick, because I know we're part of the working class bow hunter, but I like touching them, man. I like reaching out there and touching one.
Oh yeah, I'm the same way. Obviously, I mean, Victory Drive is, I would say I bow hunt too. Like we're all bow hunters.
Yeah, we all bow hunt.
We're all a bunch of boners out here.
I'm the perfect mix
being boners,
between you and Kurt, because you like to reach out there and touch them, and the guns, and I just like to boy, I love it. I love it, man.
I don't know. It's fun. I don't know. I don't know why people tend to give like gun hunting such a bad rap. They're you're fucking da 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 da.
Because everybody does it,
brother. Gun hunting is fun. That's why gun rhymes with fun. It's just fun. And bow hunting, it starts with the B because bow rhymes is pretty close to fucking boring.
Bow rhymes with slow. Bow hunting is slow hunting.
Bow sometimes blows. It is what it is. But it's not like I do love bow hunting. Obviously, I really do. But it's just like I say this comparison millions of times, and forgive the listeners, I have to hear it all the time. But it's like, dude, bow hunting is 90% boring as shit and 10% awesome. And gun hunting is 100% just fun the whole time.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's kind of like, some people are like, oh yeah, but when you get one, it's not near as
Bullshit.
exciting or any of that stuff as it is with a bow. And it's like, okay, maybe not for you, I guess, or whatever. Since you made up your mind about it, so it's not a big deal. But it's like gun hunting is just like fun the whole time. It's just a different kind of fun. It's like saying like, oh, like I don't know, like I don't know. I don't even know a good comparison. Like it'd be.
Well, I'll say this. We're
okay. Here you go. I got a great comparison for you, real quick.
Okay.
All right. It's like saying like missionary or doggy style. They're both awesome.
Okay. They're
One
both
is
awesome.
different than the other. I'm not going to complain about either of them. I think they're both great. I'd love to do both.
One is more intimate and personal. The other one, you're just reaching over and touching it.
That's right. So it's like
one
it's
of
a
them you
little
gotta
bit.
Look at them in the eyes, and one of them you got a brown eye looking back at you.
It's like you got different views. It's just kind of like I love them both. I'm not gonna bash any of them. Like it's just, but they are different. They're decidedly different.
I may or may not have my preference. I may or may not have my preference, but I'm still going to do both because they're both available to be done. So
that's right. That's right.
Well, I've always said this: like, I'm a deer hunter first. I'm not a bow hunting purist. Don't get me wrong. I love getting real close to them. I'm a big recurve hunter, just like you're a big longbow hunter. Like I love getting up close and touching them, with them. But my season starts the second Saturday in September, so I'm hunting the whole time in September. Then I got October, and I'm trying to start going out west, chasing big deer, which I've had a couple big deer out west this year, and fortunately, I was able to lay my eyes on a couple of them, and one very, very big deer. He's 180 style deer, and but he disappeared, but I know he's alive because the neighbor got pictures of him about half a mile down the road. But I chase these, and then I go on rutcation for 10 to 12 days, and I'm like, I have carried this bow. I have let deer get away that are 60, 70, 80, 90 yards so many times. Well, not a lot because you only have just so many encounters with shooter bucks, But there's just something about whenever I get back home from rutcation, it's muzzleloader here usually. And I can just get home. I got the black powder. I still shoot old night vision. And I make sure that thing's cleaned out. I got a Leupold VX3 on top of it. I go out back, check the zero, and it's usually I got it lined up 2 inches high at 100, so I can reach out there and touch one at 200 if I need to. So I grab that gun, and it's like it's a different feeling. It's not a feeling of I'm cheating and I've got a gun now. It's if you come out, you're fucked. And
right.
And it's that I finally now took the handicap away, and I can be in the ball game a little bit farther. And so I shot a deer with a muzzleloader this year. I just said all that and said that overconfidence and cockiness there, but I shot one on the bottom of the chest this year with a muzzleloader. Thing came out, and where I was hunting, I was kind of looking uphill, and I put the scope on it. It was one of those situations, better pull the trigger. And I hate that. I hate that feeling. Like I want, especially with a gun, I want to be like, I have this confidence, but I got to slow down, kind of like when I'm with a bow. But sometimes you don't do that. You're like, oh, it's a gun. I'm going to pull the trigger. But this right here was a true blue, 100%. I didn't rush the shot, but I had to rush the shot. If you know what I'm saying, I had a 3-second window, but I still squeezed, I still put pressure perfect. But right as I squeezed off, he stepped up the hill. So I hit him low, like in the chest. Well, I called a dog, right then. I knew, like I went over there, I found one spot of blood. I was like, well, I got a bullet in him. And I'm like, but I don't see him dead, and I can see up this big holler. It's in between 2 mountains up this creek, and literally in the woods, I can see about 175 yards, and I don't see him laying anywhere in that ditch. And I'm going, okay, I called the dog. He said, well, I can't come till tonight. Well, that dog, that night, I was strapping up my boots. I was heading to go meet the dog. My phone buzzing. I look, and the damn deer that I just shot standing in my bait pile eating corn. I'm like, what the hell?
Jeez.
Yeah, and you can see
So
a
you're like,
thumb
well,
size.
call the dog.
Yeah. You can see a thumb size hole. I'll show it to you here. You can see a thumb size hole in the bottom of his chest, and I'm going, what are the daggum chances? All right here's the deer. So your video recording, so I can see it. So that's the deer I shot. Right. And he's a nice buck. I mean, nice North Carolina, 125, 130-inch deer. Look at this little black spot right there. See it? Is it hazy?
Oh, yep, there it is. Huh.
Yeah, it's right
Okay.
there. So that's where I
Yeah.
hit him. And I was aimed 2 inches above that. So
Just hit him right in the meat.
yeah, about
Right in the
125
chest meat.
yards. Yeah, 125 yards, which my gun is probably about a half-inch high to 125 yards. So I put it right on this bottom of his lungs, and I started squeezing off, and he just stepped up after the doe. And but it is what it is. He's still alive. And I had a camera there. I had a Blackgate out there, and bear tore it off the tree. So, which fucking sucks. We got
bastard.
We have 36 bears on camera right now.
Jeez. When does bear season start in North Carolina?
So it was in October the 4th this year, ran to the 22nd. It goes out the 22nd. It comes back in December 13th until January 1. So I'll go kill that bastard. He's a biggin. He's a damn grown one. I like, which I hate bear hunting. I could give two shits about him, but that's the picture
Really?
I got of him laying there.
What don't you like about bear hunting?
I view them as coons. That's the way I look at them. I get so many of them
but they're
on
not.
camera.
They're like, wait, dude, they're fucking way cooler than coons, though.
They are.
They're giant. They're big, and they're fucking, they're cool.
I've grown up around them, and I've seen them so many times, and they tore so many of my cameras off the tree, and they have ruined a lot of, because there's a big misconception. Bear hunters will tell you that bear don't run deer off. Well, they're not big buck deer hunters like I am. And I say that with all due respect to bear hunters, but they aren't chasing the caliber of whitetails that I'm trying to chase, mature deer, that isn't influenced by a bait pile. And I get, between all the properties between eastern Tennessee and western North Carolina, between my dad and I, we have 36 bears on camera. And the problem is, it's so hard. You can't run dogs. This is what everybody does around here. You can't really run dogs on them because there's so many landowners. And these landowners are like, no, you're not running dogs on my property. And I get that. Totally. Wouldn't want dogs running on my property either. But, and so these bears have become overrun in that area. And I get them on every single camera that I have out in the woods. I've got 17 cameras out in the woods, all cell cameras. I have every single one of them have a bear on it.
What's a North Carolina non-resident bear tag run?
They're high. They're $400 or $500. Yeah, $400 or $500.
Not that bad.
Well,
it's about as much as Wyoming was. Wyoming was it was like 300 some odd bucks, but
you got to buy. I think you got to your 10-day license is going to cost you, I think, $100, and then like the bear tag's $400 and some dollars. In which, I mean, you come down here and shoot any bears you want. I don't care. Like, kill them all.
yeah,
you're only allowed one.
It's probably like $500-600 for a bear.
Yeah, it's something like that. Yeah, it's not too bad, but the thing is, we have trophy black bears.
Yeah,
and
you do.
We have some of the largest black bears in the entire world, including Canada, Maine, all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Our bear population has boomed. I'd like to see how many bears. Last year, just in the county I live in, there was like 78 black bears killed, and like 65 of them were boars. And
jeez,
yeah,
that's awesome.
and so it's insane. And even with a short season, and a lot of these counties where you have these bears that you can't run dogs, obviously that number's cut in half. But if you could run dogs in these areas, I mean, you legally can if you have the property to do it, but there's not enough property. Because these bears cover such a big, wide variety, or a wide, vast range. It's just the bears, man, they have just caused so much destruction, and people are like, shoot them all, And
I hear you there. That would piss me off too. It's literally the same reason why we don't like coons. But So can you bait bears there?
You can. So listen to this horse shit of a law. You can bait bears with non-processed food. So you can use corn, apples, you can use that stuff, right? The bear cannot actively be consuming the bait while you pull the trigger. So you tell me what you think that means.
The bait pile?
No, it can be standing in the bait pile. It just has to swallow. It has to swallow. Before it takes its next bite, you can shoot it. Or once it's done eating and goes to leave the bait pile, you can kill it. But if a bear
shot that motherfucker, yeah. But
if it's got an apple in its mouth, you pull the trigger, that's illegal. But if it swallows it, it's not illegal.
Huh.
What a horse shit of a law.
What's up with that? Why is that? Like, what is there's I can't think of any type of conservation reason or nothing like that why that'd be the case.
So I view the North Carolina wildlife, and I've got some good friends that kind of work in the wildlife, between game wardens, some people that are kind of in that realm. And the North Carolina wildlife, and I know that there's some people that listen to your podcast from North Carolina, and I think that they'll agree with this.
Mm-hmm.
The North Carolina wildlife, some of the dictators or whoever's in office there, they're kind of like that parent that never parents, but you have your main parent that comes in here and makes all these decisions, but they're like, I've got to feel like a parent too, so I'm just going to do or say something so I can get my 2 cents in too. So we have a law here in North Carolina during gun season, between 9:30 and 12:30, you cannot gun hunt on Sundays.
So wait. So you can hunt on Sundays.
You can hunt on Sundays.
You can't gun hunt
between 9:30 and 12:30 on that day because of church service. Which, listen, I'm actually not.
Stop. Can you bow hunt during that time?
Yes, you can bow hunt during that time, and you can shoot during that time. When you and I can go out and dump 20,000 223 rounds. We can shoot skeet, whatever we want to. We can get hammered fucking dick drunk and shoot targets, but we cannot actively take an animal between 9:30 in the morning to 12:30 p.m. because of church service while hunting. But you can shoot and you can bow hunt during that time. And I get it. I get the church service thing. I'm not against that.
I'm not against going to church, man. I'm not against going to church. I'm against,
but 98% of your churchgoers here, this is a very Southern Baptist state.
Yeah.
They all have guns in their waistband. They hear a trigger pull. They're like, I wonder if Billy Bob done killed one or not.
Yeah.
Bring him in here
it doesn't, the gun hunting doesn't make sense for the distinction there. But also, I can understand, back in the day, they're like, oh, okay, no hunting during this time because of, just being like a not like a law, but like a thing that just everyone does. I totally understand that. But if you're going to make it a law that nobody can gun hunt during this time, then I think you should make it a law that everyone has to go to church that time then. How about that?
Yeah. It's a noise ordinance thing.
It's noise ordinance thing. I got you.
It's a noise ordinance where they don't want to hear gunshots during while people are actively taking an animal. But like I said, you can shoot guns, and you cannot be hunting during that 9:30 to 12. You cannot. But let's see, you cannot hunt within 500 yards of a church.
Okay, that's fine with me too.
Yeah, that's fine. But I know people that have leases. They lease the church property to deer hunt it, and it just blows my mind. In some of these decisions that are made in our state, we have a super long gun season. Our muzzleloader starts the first Saturday in November, and it runs till the Saturday before Thanksgiving, and then the Saturday before Thanksgiving of January 1 is rifle season. Now, I think we talked about on our last podcast, we have such a huge amount of deer. That's the reason why they have such a long gun season. We have one of the highest deer populations of just about any state. And
India, a lot of people too.
We have a ton of people. We have a ton of people that hunt. The thing is, though, is it just seems like they have to do something or put something in that regulates more, but nobody really follows it. That's another thing is nobody really follows that 9:30 to 12:30 rule. They're because you have one game warden per one county.
Right. Well, and it's like if no one's going to turn you in, then what does it matter?
Exactly. And in which, like, I follow the law. Like, I don't at 9:30, buddy. I've unloaded my gun and I'm in my truck and I'm leaving because I don't want to be questioned. Because if I'm hunting a deer on a Sunday morning and not going to church, I'm obviously chasing something big. And if I pull the trigger, I don't want questions like, "Well, I heard a gunshot over there at 10:15." And if it ever comes back, I don't want that. But there's a lot of people I know, I'm sure, that don't follow that law. And now with the way they're getting rid of the tax stamp for suppressors, which I think is one of the greatest things in the world. But people are deer hunting with suppressors now. You'd never know if that trigger was pulled. If you're using Hornady subsonic.
Hey, here you go. Dude, I've got it. I got to figure it out.
Okay.
How about this? How about in North Carolina? And matter of fact, let's just go across the board here. How about, but especially in North Carolina with laws like that, how about you just make it a requirement to use a suppressor during that time? You know?
Ooh.
Or like make it a requirement to hunt with suppressors. Like here you go. In New Zealand, it's New Zealand, the country, the island out there. It's not exactly like a super pro gun country. Like they're not like America, like no one's like America. That's why we're the fucking best. But New Zealand, they have it a thing where if you're hunting in New Zealand, you are required to use a suppressor because it's so small and there's a bunch of people and they don't want to hear all that racket. And I totally get it. I'm like, yeah, dude,
I'm not against that.
I'm not against that
either. At all.
Matter of fact, on top of it, let's make it a law to use a suppressor, and then we will issue everyone a suppressor. So instead of universal health care, it's universal suppressors.
Ooh. All right. Everybody gets a 30 caliber can. Everybody gets a 30 caliber can.
It needs to be like a 46 because in states like Iowa, you can't use 30 cals.
Good point.
It's got to be like a 46.
So if you're in a straight wall state like Iowa or like Ohio, you get a 46 caliber can.
Yep.
Here you get a 30 caliber can, so you can use anything from a 22 Creedmoor or a 22 Arc to all the way up to a 30-06, whatever you want to.
Yep.
And go have a great time and see. I'm dropping the money. All right, I'm gonna buy a Ruger American just because they're cheap and they're damn good guns. And they automatically come threaded, but I'm going to get a 6mm, and I'm going to get a suppressor for it, put a 30 cal can on it, and I'm going to get a Leupold VX5 with a fire dot on it. So the property where I shot that deer,
damn, you're going to get out there. You want to get out there.
Yeah, man. I know it's just a 243 on steroids, but here's the idea, right? So where I shot that deer, I'll tell you the story. So an even better part, the deer that I shot with the muzzleloader the other day, right? My blind where I'm hunting is 53 yards from the landowner's back door.
Okay.
And it's a field. It's 149 yards from my blind to the top of the field. Then he owns another about 15 acres of woods. Well, there is a $2.9 million mansion 250 yards to my left. There's about probably $1 million mansion 150 yards to my right. Up on top of the hill, in between me and where these deer come out, there's like a $5 million mansion up there. So when I shoot and I'm in the bowl of a mountain, when I pull the trigger, the whole city, everybody knows, right? So, but here's the cool thing. So when I shot that deer, and I got to pull out, there's 3 cars parked at the bottom of their driveway waiting on me to come out. And I'm going,
what'd you get, Jordan?
Well, I never met any of them.
Oh, so you didn't know if they're cool.
I only knew the landowner. So landowner is, for the sake of this story, I'm going to do a different name. His name's Rockwell.
Okay.
So I pull in, I pull up, and Rockwell's standing there, and there's all of these people. And I'm going, oh, God almighty. Like, I'm about to get a cussing because this guy from Florida doesn't like the fact that I'm here, blah, 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 blah. And they're like, what did you kill? We heard the gun go off. God, that gun was loud. And I'm like, well, yeah, it's a muzzleloader with 100 grains of black powder in it, It's like, kadoosh, And so right then and there, and I said, and then I'm like, all right, now it's rifle season, and I got a 257 Roberts that's going to, it's cracked too. And I know that they don't care, but here's what bothered me. So, and I even said this in one of my episodes of the podcast. So the evening before I shot that deer with a muzzleloader, that deer comes out chasing a doe 80 yards in front of me and stands there and starts lip curling. The landowner's wife, their daughter, and their granddaughter is standing there at their forerunner 40 yards behind me, and that little baby's crying. I mean, it's like 2-3 years old. Little baby's crying, and this buck is standing in the field right in front of me, and I'm going, if I pull this trigger, there is a chance I'm going to lose this property. And whenever I go to leave, I let the buck chase the doe, and I was like, well, it's dark now at this point because he chases it off. And I come out, and they're like, did you see anything? And I was like, I just seen some does, Well, the next day after I shot, I was like, I told the Rockwell, whatever you want to call him. I told him, I said, and the only reason why I say Rockwell is because I call Rachel Rockwell.
You're going Rockwell, Rockwell, not. I was thinking Rockwell.
Yeah, Rockwell. No. Oh, okay.
No, you're going Rockwell.
Yeah, Rockwell. That's what I'm calling him.
Little ethnic twist to it. Yeah, all right.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. But I told him the next day because I didn't want to make him feel bad. I didn't make anybody feel bad. And I was like, I said, to beat it all, I said, when you and your wife and your granddaughter and out there, I was like, that big buck I was hunting was standing right there at 75, 80 yards in front of me. He said, why didn't you shoot it? And I said, I would have blew your eardrums out. He said, why? I said, y'all were standing at the car. He said, we didn't care. We knew you were there hunting. And I'm like, I don't care about you. I care about that 2 or 3 year old. And I was like, and a sudden muzzleloader boom blast. Oh. So that's where the whole
kids.
Yeah, and dude, I've got yeah, fuck them kids. And so I've gotten to this point in my life now where I've got my 6-year-old. He hunts like crazy, and my 3-year-old he wants to go hunting, and I'm going, I want something that's. I don't necessarily want to shoot subsonic ammo. I do have a couple places because I don't want to shoot a gun that shoots 900 feet a second, at a 180-inch whitetail. But
no.
I want something that's just, if you're sitting on the back porch and I pull the trigger and you're 150 yards, it ain't going to ring your ears. You're going to know like, oh, well, it sounds like a 22 just shot, not a pellet gun. So I'm getting a 22 Creedmoor. Or 22 ARC, one of the two, and then I'm gonna get a 6mm, and then an Ruger American, and then 350 Legend, and I'll put a suppressor on it, and then that's what my boys and I will be hunting with in places like that. Now, if I take off in the mountains somewhere up here, I'm taking 257. But anything else?
Well, your kids should be able to handle a 6 Creedmoor, I think.
Oh well, Bo killed a deer Sunday evening.
Yeah.
And killed it with my 243. Same gun.
Oh, okay. So you're using your 243?
Yeah. So he'd shot his first 2 deer. He shot, well, to be honest with you, he shot his first deer with a muzzleloader. But I took one of the pellets out. He was only shooting 50 grains.
Okay.
Yep. He shot a 50 caliber night vision, but I only had 1 pellet in it. So I shot it at 50 yards, and it was dead on at 50 yards. I was like, that's plenty enough, for him to shoot a spike. The next day was open day rifle, and he shot it with 222. Well, earlier this year on Youth Day, he shoots my 222 again, shoots an 8-pointer, 7-pointer, and hits a little low, and deer lives. It's still alive. And I've had 2 or 3 of my buddies like, dude, put the 222 down, just put him in 243. It's not going to kick much harder, and I'm like, yeah, I killed a bunch of deer with that 222 growing up. But I also get it. If he's going to make a marginal shot, I want a 24 caliber bullet instead of a 22 caliber bullet. It goes a lot faster. I don't have to explain it to you or the
Well,
listener.
no,
I
you're not
think they all
explaining
know.
it. You're not explaining it just me.
Yeah.
Go
Yeah.
ahead. Go on with your story.
Yeah.
Be as detailed as you want, Jordan. Okay.
I know the ropes. The idea is, I'm shooting.
All right.
22.
Sorry, I didn't mean to insult you.
Yeah. the 22, the 222. It's a great round. I mean, but it's a light bullet, and so when it hits, it's going to explode as soon as it hits that deer. And I killed 8 deer with that 222 growing up, and that some bitch is accurate. It's a Remington Model 788, most accurate gun I got, and so he shot those couple deer, and he shot that 7-pointer this year, and I was like, man, I'm just going to switch him to 243 and just not tell him that it's any different. Now the gun looks different. I'm just going to say, oh, it's just like the other gun. And so I had this buck showing up at this place. I'd seen him 3 or 4 times. My dad let him go with a bow, and I said, man, that deer right there is the most perfect deer for bow. He's a 15-inch wide 6-pointer with 3 and 3 on top, right? So as I watched this deer that morning, and I'm hunting a really big 9-pointer at this place, and I'm going, I'm taking bow here. Screw that 130-inch 9-pointer. I'm not worried about it. I want my boy to kill this deer. Well, my son also has only ever shot deer off a bog pod. Well, this box stand that I have there, it was built in 1998. I actually got the picture of it, and it was built well before we had this lease. And it's very, very small, doesn't have enough room for my bog pod, so he's going to shoot off a rail. Farthest shot, those 55 yards. And so we get in there, and I'm like, all right, I'm taking a 243. I got a Ruger Mark II M77 Mark II. And we get in the stand, and I'm like, and a spike and a doe come in, and I'm like, all right, man, aim on it and see if you can hold on it. He said, oh, I could kill that spike all day. I'm like, well, buddy, if you want to shoot it, I'm not going to tell you no. He goes, I don't want to kill a spike. I want to kill a big one. I said, all right. I said, damn, being passive at 6 years old, I get it, buddy. And
hell yeah, dude.
So he's on this thing and on this spike watching it, and we had a couple more small bucks and does kind of go around because it's the peak rut right here at my house right now. And so I look off the hill about 125 yards, and I see a body of a deer coming in. And it's like, like when you're hunting, you hunted long enough to know when you see a deer, you ain't got to see the horns or anything. You're like, that's him. Yep. That's the deer that we came here. And I just immediately just said, all right, Bobo, come sit up here, sit on my lap. Because he wasn't quite tall enough to see over the rail to hold the gun himself. He had to kind of get a little bit of, just stick his ass right there on the end of my knee there just to up him just a little bit.
Just had to get a little bit more up in him.
Yeah, just about 2 more inches, man. If we all had 2 more inches, we'd all be doing great in life,
Yeah, yeah. The women wouldn't complain. I know that.
Yeah, exactly. So this deer, he starts walking in, and I look in the binoculars. I said, hey, buddy, you think you want to shoot this deer? And he said, I don't know. What is it? And I said, well, it's the deer that we came in here for. And you could just see the look on his eyes. He said, it's a big. Yeah, he said, it's a big one. I said, yeah. I said, so what are you going to do? He said, I'm going to kill it, Daddy. I said, good. And I wanted to build his confidence because where he shot that 7-pointer earlier in the year, it bothered me for him. Dude, he didn't sleep for like 3 days, wouldn't hardly eat, nothing, man. He was so stressed out about that deer. I had to lie to him, tell him that the damn deer went to the deer doctor and got his damn leg fixed, and he was totally fine. And put a cast on his leg, and he's walking around, and he's like, okay, good. But he cares. He's got, dude.
No, just brush that up.
I told him, man, I was
don't
like,
worry, buddy.
Fine.
I took him to the veterinarian. He's fine.
Yeah.
He's okay. He's out there running around, rutting.
Exactly. But the dude's got a heart. He's got a heart the size of a basketball. It's almost a medical condition how much he cares. And he just
funny. That's super cute.
I know. But it makes me feel good because I know that he actually enjoys the deer, and he's not just, I'm just showing up just to kill a deer with Daddy. He's like, he genuinely cares about the deer, which tells me in the long run that he's going to be a fucking hell of a deer hunter because he cares.
Oh, yeah. Well, and it sounds like the good thing about that is that he had a mishap, and that sucks. But he has looked at that as being like, okay, well, I'm not going to do that again. I'm going to do better next time.
Yep.
With some kids, they might
kept that.
Well, yeah, and then but some kids, have a mishap like that, and then they'd be like, "Fuck that! I ain't doing that ever again. I'm just not going to do
There's
it."
grown ass people that do that. Grown ass men, and grown ass women, and that's what bothered. I was like, man, I just hope that this situation here to where he shoots something and don't get it, and it doesn't ruin him from deer hunting. But it did. It kind of did for a couple weeks, but it wasn't used to anymore. It went back to bow season, blah, blah, blah. Well, then gun season comes in. I'm like, hey, buddy, you ready to go? He said, yes, I'm ready to go. He said, I'm ready to shoot one. I'm going to do better this time, Daddy. And I was like, that's what I'm talking about.
Fuck yeah.
So this buck is walking up this holler, and we have a lot of holly bushes. You know what a holly bush is, don't you?
No, it sounds hot.
No, it's not.
Okay.
I mean, my wife Holly's hot. My wife Holly's hot. So it's a holly bush.
I was going to go somewhere else with another joke, but then
Holly's bush is pretty hot.
Yeah. Okay, there we go. Thank you for saying it, not me, because then my wife's name's Holly, and then now it got weird, and I'm king.
I don't give a shit. So you'll have to Google what a holly bush is. It's a white.
I don't know if I should.
Oh my god! Yeah, just type in holly bush, not Holly's bush.
Okay, yeah, not plural, not possessive. Yeah, not possessive.
There you go. So it's like a white trunk, and it has green leaves on it, and it has spikes on the end of it. And so imagine a honey locust, with all their spikes, but on the leaves, and they're sharp as fuck. And there's thousands and thousands and thousands of leaves on these things.
I don't like that.
Yeah, they're everywhere in this area. And so I'm looking down through the hollies, and I just see its rack coming up. And that's when I told him, I was like, hey, buddy, I said, do you want to shoot this deer? And he's like, well, what is it? And I told him, I said, well, buddy, it's the deer we came for. He said, yes. And it just the seriousness and I could tell from the time when he was 5 years old to 6 years old, and how much he's grown and how much he's matured for a 6-year-old, and being able to get in the moment and stay serious in the moment, not just get all silly, because you know how 6 years old do. They all get silly. And he got serious, and I'm like, hey, man, you're about to potentially kill an animal. Let's take this serious. So the deer kind of comes up. Well, Bo's shifting around in the box stand, and the deer's quartering to us. And I'll say something here. It's not a very popular opinion, but a 1.25 shot is the most dangerous. It is the deadliest shot, especially with a rifle. Hands down, 100%, in my opinion. A 1.25, not facing, not broadside. Dead on 1.25, where you can put it on the shoulder and you can aim at the backhand, pull the trigger. You're getting fucking everything. Yeah. So
I wouldn't say that. First of all, I wouldn't say that's an unpopular opinion, especially with gun hunting. Like a lot of rifle hunters and gun hunters,
bow hunters gun hunt.
But bow hunters get all worked up about it. But it's like, well, even bow hunting, I know a lot of bow hunters that would not hesitate to take a 1.25 shot. You just have to know your equipment and know what it can do. If you're shooting if you're shooting a 22 arc, I'd be like, maybe a 1.25 shot's not the best you want to do.
Even a 243, because you're probably not going to get an exit. So
probably not going to, but you're going to get enough.
Yeah, exactly. But the deer ain't going to make it far enough to where a bullet trail even really matters, right? So I'm sitting here, I'm watching this deer, and it comes up. It gets about there's 2 scrapes over to the right, and there's a bait pile over to the left. So, and he's standing right in between it. And I know at the distance he's about 55 yards. Mm-hmm. Well, where Bo's kind of shifting around that box stand, and it's dead, calm, quiet, that deer kind of knows something's up. And I put Bo on the gun, and I'm like, hey, can you see him? He's like, yeah, Daddy. I said, is the crosshairs on him? He said, yeah. I said, could you shoot him? He said, yes. I said yes 3 times. I was like, well, that's not the question that I asked you. I asked you 3 different questions now. And he goes, well, I'm on him. And I'm like, are you on him good? And he's like, yeah. And I'm flipping the safety off at this same time. And I'm like, buddy, I was like, when you stick your finger up on the trigger, can you keep the crosshair on him? And he said, yes, Daddy. I said, can you kill him now? Yes. I said, then shoot him. And I was like, but make sure that crosshair stays on him. And you seen him, and dude, this is where I was so proud of him. You seen him do the crosshair, like he reached up there and put his finger on the trigger, and he got back in the crosshair, and then he come off the trigger. I'm like, what are you doing? He said, crosshair's not on him. And he put his finger back on the trigger. He said, I'm on him now. I said, well, kill him. Boom. And that fucking deer just like ate it, man. He ate it right there. And I watched the deer disappear. Well, those hollies are so thick and her bush is so thick. And I'm like, I can't really just see through what I need to see through. I saw the angle of the way the deer went. And he said, did I get him? And he said,
is he down?
Forgive me for this being a parent. He said, I busted his ass. I said, I think you did, buddy. And I'm just sitting there, but I'm still hesitant because it's a 1/4 shot. I didn't see the deer fall, because most of the time I know where to hold on a 1/4 shot to make him just buckle, And the deer ran off, and so I was like, hey man, let's give him about 10 minutes, and he's like, I don't want to. I'm like, all right, fuck it, we'll take our time getting out of the box stand. So we climb out of the box stand, we go down the bait pile, and there's no blood, obviously, and I'm like, well, if he hit this deer where he hit him, where I think he hit him, I said, he's going to be laying here soon. So we walk 10 yards, and I look over to the right, and the deer's dead, and he ran 30 yards. Well, I told Bo, I was like, hey, man, I want you to track it. The motherfucker almost walks past it. I'm like, come on, man. Like he's tracking
you blind bastard. It's right there.
Yeah. I mean, he is basically blind. I mean, you see his glasses, man.
He has glasses, doesn't he?
Yeah. He has 24/50 vision. So yeah,
my bad.
No, I don't care. He knows it. He's like, Daddy, we about walked past it, and I said, dude, you about walked by it. He goes, sorry, Daddy, I know I'm blind. And I was like, it's okay, buddy. And
that's
dude,
funny.
I ain't gonna lie to you. When I saw the deer laying there, dude, the tears started flowing, man. And I didn't let him see it this time because the first time when he killed his first deer, I lost my shit. And when he killed that 7-pointer last year, I really lost my shit because damn, he just killed a big one, And then this deer, it was just like after he lost his deer and he really tried hard and the wave of emotion that hit me when I saw it, I was like, oh my God. And, but dude, it was just so awesome. So now he's like, Daddy, he's like, what gun is that? He said, oh, by the way, Daddy, you forgot to put my earmuffs on. I was like, yeah, I didn't really think about that.
Well, now you're blind in, deaf bastard. No.
Maybe you can't hear. You can't hear no deer walking in. Maybe you'll look and see, but you can't see that. So maybe that's why he talks so damn much because you can't hear or see now.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he'd be like Harold Keller.
Harold Keller. I like that. But dude, that right there capped off my season. My season's been pretty rough. I've had my Ohio trip was pretty rough. Saw some bucks and missed one actually and hit my damn arm and caused me to shoot low. But I still got right now. It is real time while we're recording here is December 3rd. I still got a month left of gun season. I was checking my cameras there while we were having technical difficulties. I got a pretty good buck showing up.
In Ohio?
No, here at home.
There. Okay, at home.
I'm going to go to Ohio January 3rd for the late muzzleloader. And we're not going to be picky this year. I'm done being picky up there. I've let so many 125 to 140 inch deer walk up there. It's insane. So
yeah. They just never come back the next year and get bigger, do they?
Yeah, they do.
Do they?
Yeah, but there's some extenuating circumstances on our lease and for next year. So I don't know if we'll be able to lease it or not. So, and I've let, so there's a chance that I may still be able to get the lease, but I'm hoping that I will, but there's some things kind of going on there. But also, man, I've went into this whole trying to trophy hunt thing, living in North Carolina, where there are trophy whitetails that live in North Carolina, but I don't live in the area of North Carolina where the trophy whitetails are.
Right.
And I try to do it out of state 6 hours away. So I'm up here trying to compete with people that live up there. And I set a false expectation for myself, like, man, I would be super happy to kill this deer, but I know that there's bigger deer here. Then I come back here with a boomstick and I'm like, I'm so burn out from busting my ass that like I just settle for just a nice buck that I've let go 10 times with a bow. I'm like, damn, I'd have rather killed it with a bow. But then you put that gun in my hand. Rachel Bushak and I were talking whenever she killed her Ohio deer just the other day, you know, with a gun. I'm like, she's like, when you put a gun in my hand, I just like to kill. And I'm like, yeah, me too. Like, I get that. Like, just that killer instinct really comes out when you have a boomstick. It's more methodical with a bow, but my killer instinct really shows when it comes to a gun.
Yeah, no, I think I'd agree with that, honestly. Now I'm thinking about it, I think I would really agree with that. I think I'm trying to think. I wonder if it's because with bow hunting, you just kind of like get used to sitting there and watching deer.
Mm-hmm.
And then when a good deer comes by, you're just kind of like, ooh. And then you think about your trail cameras and all this other stuff, and you just put so much work into it. And like it's early, it's early season. So you're spending a lot of time out there, and you're really
just
focused.
Waited 9 months to finally chase that buck, and you're like, I'm not just going to start killing.
Right, you got the velvet pictures, you got this, you got that, and you're like kind of like, I want to shoot this buck or this buck or this buck. Nothing else is going to make me happy this year. And then you see, like one, certain bucks walk by that you're just kind of like, damn, that's a nice buck. That's a nice buck, but I can't shoot him because I'm dedicated. And then by the time gun season does roll around, at least in Iowa, then you're kind of like, you are kind of like just like, well, fuck, I'm killing something. Like I'm not playing no more games. And I don't care. It's like, I don't care.
Dude, that's the feeling. And so my buddy, Petey, the guy I do all my hunting with, we're on our lease together, and he's always been a diehard bow hunter just like I have. Well, here in the last probably 7 years or so, he's kind of leaned more toward guns. And I'm kind of like, man, we go on all these hunting trips, but he always mentioned like, I'd like to go on a hunting trip and carry a boomstick. I'd love to go on a hunt trip, carry a boomstick. And I'm like, yeah, I get it. I said, but man, the hunting's the best whenever it's during bow season. He's like, well, it's the way you look at it. He goes, yeah, you might get to hunt the rut. He said, but how many times have you been sitting there in a tree stand and that big buck's 150 yards and you're like, boy, if I had my high-powered rifle, that son of a bitch wouldn't take another step. And I'm going, yeah, a good point. He goes, it just would be nice just to sit back and relax. Because you hunt more relaxed, Now I know deer drives are not relaxing, and you're dealing with a lot worse weather than what I'm dealing with. I may be dealing with terrain and elevation and miles walked, but you're dealing with some brutal fucking weather. But it would just be, it's just so much, just something about it, just that calming feeling. It's what it is. It's a calm that you have looked for because you busted your ass the entire bow season, and you look for that calm. And I have 8 weeks of gun season. You have 3 total, maybe 4.
Well, it depends on it. It depends on what season you have to pick.
Well, you got late muzzleloader up there, and then you have
So
first and second gun.
Yeah, but you have to pick which gun season you want to go. You know what I mean? But you can only get one of those gun seasons, so it all depends. It's like
so
for
you
a
have
buck,
such
for
a limited amount of time.
You really do. That's the thing that I love about Iowa, and also kind of hate about Iowa, because a piece of me also thinks like, okay, well, if we gave gun hunters a little bit more time to hunt, like say we just got rid of the first and second season gun seasons and just did one gun season for 3 weekends, for 3 weeks, right? Just 3 straight weeks of gun season. Like you get your gun tag, no first season, no second season, just gun season. And maybe you'd get people out of the mindset of being like, we gotta go. We have to do deer drives. We have to do these drives. We have to get to the next spot. We have to push through all this terrain. And we have to push through all these woods and shoot all these deer.
The pressure would fall a little bit. Now,
I think
there'll probably be more deer killed, obviously, because there's a lot more time there.
Yeah.
But pressure would go down.
I think pressure would go down. I think people would do a lot more sitting in blinds or whatnot, and like sitting around, like kind of sitting for a while, and then like maybe
not just filling their tag,
right? And then maybe after like the second week, then they'd be like, okay, hey boys, last week of hunting season, who's got tags? We're doing deer drives. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like, let's go drive some deer. But I think people would naturally just stop driving deer as much, and this is coming from a guy that I do like do deer drives. I enjoy them. I think they're fun. I think
We
they're a
don't do
great
them as
time.
much as we used to. Like, we don't do them as much as we used to, but, I mean, that I do get that, and that's coming from a guy that lives in a state that part of the state, their gun season comes in first weekend in October. But the idea is when you have so much season, you don't push for as hard,
Right.
and your pressure will fall if you have more of it. Supply and demand, right? That's what it is.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
just the whole nature of supply and demand. If you had 4 weeks to gun hunt and you could 4 consecutive weeks to gun hunt, you're like, well, it's raining today. I'm not going to go hunting. So that might
Yeah.
save that one deer's life. It's
Mm-hmm.
a blizzard today, but if it's the last day of your 2-day gun season or your 1 week long gun season, it don't matter if it's rain, sleet, snow, shine.
We're going.
You're going.
We're going. Yep.
Especially if you have a buck tag.
Yeah, and then in Iowa's first season, first gun season, it's you have 1 weekend. That's it.
Yeah.
So then second season, you have 2 weekends. Like it's like there's not that much time for these guys to get it done. So there's a feeling of there's a rushed feeling. There's a feeling of like we gotta go. We gotta
we have to do it.
We have to get rolling here, boys. Like get the guns going. Let's roll. So there's a lot more urgency, I feel like, than needs to be. But I could be totally wrong. Like I don't know. I really don't know. So,
I'm not a biologist, but damn it sounds pretty good.
I don't. I like it.
To me, honestly, like I wish that we could shorten our gun season here in the South.
Well, that's a long gun season, dude.
Yeah, it's super long. And we have the terrain. We don't have the genetics. That's all it comes down to in the area that I live in. We have the terrain to grow big deer because there are big deer that come out, but we don't have the genetics. And when as hard as it is to hunt in the area that we live in, and like where Connor lives in the same area type of terrain that I live in. You when you see a 100-inch 8-pointer, you're like, I busted my ass, and I see a racked 8-pointer. I'm killing the shit out of that fucking thing. But
and rightfully so. It's like,
yeah.
go for it, bud. You deserve. You earned it.
I don't know though if it wouldn't be worse though for our age structure if we only had 1 or 2 weeks of gun, because they're like, I only got 1 or 2 weeks. I've got 2 buck tags. I'm going to go ahead and fill one of these damn things. I think if we dropped our gun season, we'd have to drop our buck tags, go to 1 buck tag, because otherwise people are like, all right, I finally carry a gun. All right, I've got 2 weeks of gun season.
Mm-hmm.
I'm finally carrying a gun. I'm shooting the first deer that makes me happy, in which everybody should do that anyway. But even if it's a decent 6-pointer or a small 8-pointer, because they have a second buck tag.
Yeah, right. And I will say, absolutely shoot whatever makes you happy. But I have personally seen people shoot something, then walk up to me like, ugh, fucking piece of shit buck, kind of thing. It's like, well, that's not
we've all
the
laughed
attitude.
at ourselves.
Sure. Like, oh man,
but
little ground shrinkage here, no big deal. But it's like, it's all about the like. Sometimes people I've seen it where people are just like, oh fuck, I knew he was gonna be small, but fuck, all like cranky about it. It's like, don't be a Debbie Downer about it, buddy. Like,
yeah, it's a fucking you just took one of God's animals.
Yeah, like either be happy about it or get out of my face. Like, I don't want to see it. Like, that's just not the type of attitude I want to be around. But I don't know if because that's kind of weird because like you did just get done telling me not too long ago that North Carolina has like a really big deer population.
Mm-hmm.
But you guys don't have the age structure. It sounds like it's kind of Michigan, where it's like, what do you there's a lot of deer there, but there's a lot of younger age class deer that don't get to age because of certain other things. But it's like, but on the flip side though, it's like if you do drop your gun season down and you guys aren't killing as many deer, well, you guys both, like Michigan and North Carolina, you guys are both very like much heavier populated areas than Iowa is. Like, you're gonna have conflicts. I think that's probably the issue. Is like for one, you do have the insurance lobby that's lobbying for more deer get killed all the time. Mm-hmm. But then you also have like people like they're eating our shrubs, they're doing this, they're doing that. Like, we need to get more deer killed in these areas. Like, okay, well, what do we need to do? Okay, well, I don't know. let's start gun season at their most vulnerable time. Let's start at November 8th or November 2nd, and let them run from November 2nd till January. And then they'll kill more deer. And you're damn right, they do kill more deer. But it's like at the detriment of an age class, but you have to play that. That's the conservation thing. That's the whole,
it is.
That's the conservation side where it's like they're taking deer numbers, like the DNR go out and they take their deer surveys and they're like, okay, well, we have X amount of deer in the state of North Carolina. It's like, we're doing really well. We're doing great.
We'd look it up last time. It's over 1 million, with like estimated population between 1.2 and 1.5 million deer in the state of North Carolina. And like where Iowa was like 300 and some thousand to 500 and some thousand. So, because I remember we looked, it was like a third. Like Iowa was like a third of the amount of population of deer. So that's what I'm saying. Is like we're a great opportunity state, and I've said this 1,000 times even on my podcast. We're a great opportunity state. We're a good state to go have a good time in. You can go shoot a bunch of deer if you want to. You can kill a big buck if you're in certain areas. I mean, we have Midwest-sized deer in this state. I mean, we have 170, 180, 200-inch deer that get killed in this state, but in a particular area. And I'm not going to say what it is, but there's a particular area of this state. If you can get in there and you can get a good property and you can manage it properly, you can kill a Boone and Crockett deer there almost every year. There's this one guy that I know personally that does it basically every year. But the idea is for us, with guns, we're run by insurance companies, and that conversation has been beaten to the ground. The problem is we know that we're not in a great state to kill giants. So you can't beat them, join them. That's what it is.
Yep. And that's exactly what people in Michigan do. And that's the exact thing people in Minnesota do and everywhere else.
And PA. Yeah.
Dude, in PA, same thing. But guess what? I would do the same thing.
Yeah.
I would do the same thing. Me personally, I know my flaws, man. I know my flaws. And I do need laws to tell me when to stop.
That's me.
I love hunting. I would be hunting. I'd be Davy Crockett out that motherfucker, like just shooting all sorts of shit and selling it. I mean, like I just love doing it. I love hunting. And
right now, my trigger finger is so fucking itchy.
Dude,
it's so itchy that I've got a deer on camera. He's an old deer, and I really should kill him, to be honest with you, but he's a 110-inch deer. But I can show you pictures of this deer from 2019 as a 9-pointer. And 6 years later, I think he was 3 years old then. I think he's a 9 to 10-year-old deer. And he's never gotten any bigger. And I'm like, I've had 130 to 140-inch deer on camera this year. I want to go kill one of them because I'm a horn star, as that Tony Washnot guy. I like chasing big horns, I don't really care about age as much as I do horns. But
so if you had like a 160-inch 3-year-old and then like a 120-inch 9-year-old, it's like, well, I'm going after the 3-year-old. I don't give a fuck.
I'm shooting a 160. Yeah, because like nobody looks at the deer and say, man, he's old when he's on the wall.
That's true. You got a point.
People don't ask, like if they say, oh, man, how old was that deer? Fuck, you can lie to them if you want to. Or you say,
so you're the classic trophy hunter in the aspect of, I was like, well, if they get a bigger rack, then there's a higher probability of them being older, but I'm not going to like age them. Because I don't care.
Yeah, they're only, what does Ross Bigger say? He says the best. He ain't going to have any more birthdays, Don't get me wrong. Okay, so this is a good conversation. The guy that I hunt with, Petey and I, we had this conversation not too long ago. Is, I don't want to kill a deer while he's young. I don't want to take him before his best potential, and that's what everybody tries to do. Take him for their best potential. But where's the line there, right? Where is the line for us hunters or the people that want to do that is drawn? Like, okay, you don't want to take that deer's potential away. I get it. Kill him before he's a star. But if a 2.5-year-old for North Carolina, I'm speaking for North Carolina, a 2.5-year-old 135-inch deer walks by, are you going to worry that, man, in 3 more years, and this deer might be bigger than anything you've ever killed in 3 more years? No, because everybody believes around here, if I don't kill him, the neighbor will. Well,
Yep.
you become that neighbor at that point.
Yeah, absolutely.
You are that. If you say that, you're that neighbor.
Mm-hmm.
That's the smeller's the feller, man.
You absolutely are. And it's like, then that's how the whole state gets this mentality of if it's brown is down kind of situation.
Yeah.
And, I'm just, me personally, it's like, I don't, if I lived in Pennsylvania or North Carolina or Michigan and stuff like that, where it's more of that mentality, dude, I would do it too. I honestly, I know myself well enough now. I would do it too. But like living and growing up in the state of like Iowa, it's kind of like, it's a little bit easier for me to pass deer because, we're blessed here in Iowa with, a certain deer. And we're also blessed that it's a draw for non-residents because we do not have a giant deer population like you guys do. And we also don't have very much public land. Like everything's limited in Iowa. So we have to protect what we got. And the only way to do that is with, really expensive non-resident tags and a draw system. But I'm also on the flip side of that too. Another plus is that when a non-resident finally draws Iowa and they pay the $1,000 for a hunting license and a tag to kill a white-tailed deer, they don't generally come to Iowa and shoot a 100-inch 8-pointer.
Correct. That's not what they're leaving their family and they spend all their money in all those years. Yeah. But
why would I come from North Carolina to Iowa to shoot what I can shoot in my backyard?
But there's a big but to that, and I'll tell you why.
Because it's $1,000 tag and it's the last day of the season. You're going to shoot whoever walks in front of you because it's $1,000.
Amen.
Yep. Because I just had this conversation. I just had this conversation with a dude from Minnesota.
Yeah, last couple days, you've waited 6 to 7 years for that tag. You know it's going to be 6 to 7 years before you draw again, and you're like,
I ain't going home empty-handed.
That 2-year-old 110-inch 8-pointer that walks by you, buddy, and you're like, Mama's going to be mad. If I come home empty-handed after spending, because let's just be realistic, after tags, then you got, if you just go hunt public, from the time you put in for your first preference point in Iowa to the time that you get home, $2,500 to $3,000 bare minimum. That's without leasing.
That's just for tags, you're saying? Like points and I'm tags saying like, and shit?
No, just points and tags. So, whenever I drew Iowa, I had $1,000 invested, right? And if I didn't give that farmer money to let me hunt that, if I just went public, you got to think the money I spent on groceries, the gas to get there. Thankfully, we had Austin, so we didn't have to, we're all friends with Austin, so we got to stay with him. But if I'd have got booked a hotel, my part would have been $500 to $600 for that. So you've got a lot of time and money invested in that. And then you're up there with a bow during that time of year. I mean, I know it's Iowa, but it's hard to trip into a 150, and then you've had a rough hunt for a week and you've got 2 days left and that 3-year-old or 2-year-old little bitty buck comes by. You're like, damn it, Mama's going to be mad if I come home empty handed. But that's that same conversation though. If I don't kill him, the neighbor will shoot him. It's like, damn it, if you're going to invest that much time, invest the money. Right?
Yeah. No, I hear you. And I just had this conversation with a dude I met on some public land, and he was coming from Minnesota. He's like, I grew up here, moved away. I'm like, that was stupid. And especially in Minnesota, like, what the fuck, dude? And he lived in southern Minnesota too. I'm like, just live in northern Iowa, dumbass. Anyways, he super nice guy, but he's just like, yeah, whatever, kind of thing. He's like, yeah, I can only draw this tag every 4 years now or so. And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, and it's fucking expensive. I'm like, yeah. He's like, so this is my last day to hunt. I'm shooting anything that's in range. I'm like, you do that, dude. You spent $1,000 for a tag and waited 4 years to hunt, a place I'm blessed to hunt every year if I want to.
Yeah.
And he's coming down here to do it. I'm like, dude, yeah, absolutely. Do what you got to do. That's great. And I'm happy for you. But that's why I also prefaced it with generally people want to hold out,
Exactly. Like me. Like I didn't come to Iowa, like I had already talked to my wife about it. I said, I had 17 days to make it happen. And obviously I got lucky and killed that deer, you remember that one. You remember, you were there.
I remember that one.
You wrapped your hands around that one.
He has a
You're the
great
first
deer.
deer. You're the first person other than me to touch that deer, other than the farmer. I lied to you. The first
Oh,
person
yeah.
in our hunting camp to touch that deer.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I came for a deer like that. Did not expect to shoot a deer like that. So I was going home empty-handed and was going to figure out how I could take more time off to come back up there. Like I literally was in conversation with my boss, like, hey, if I don't kill one by the time I say I'm going to be home, I'm staying until I shoot. I'd have stayed till fucking December. And they wouldn't have fired me, you know. But I'd have probably got a firm talking to by my wife. That'd have been the one
Yeah.
no one cared, right?
Yeah, fuck work.
but
Well, the wife thing, it's like, ugh.
I can get another job. Hell, I can get a job up here and make my wife move up there, but she won't. But
Right.
the idea is for me is I went up there with a goal in mind. So now with it's getting even harder and harder and harder and harder and harder and harder and harder to draw Iowa in the area that I killed that deer in. Your boy may never bow hunt Iowa again, but
Might have to get up the old muzzle loader.
late musket.
Yes.
Late breakout. That's okay. So right there, that's prefaces why I talked about dabbling, going ahead and getting into the long range muzzleloader, because I can go early Kansas with a muzzleloader. I've got Ohio land. And even if I don't get that lease, I have some connections in Ohio where I can find a place to hunt, for late muzzleloader up there. Every other year to every 3 years, I could draw and come to the same area where I killed that deer in. I even talked to the farmer the other day. He's like, yeah, man, just whenever you draw, you can come back and hunt this same farm. And I'm like, with late musket, leave the day after Christmas and stay till the last day. And I'm not saying I'm going to see a deer like that. But then at that point, I've hunted all year. I probably went to Kansas for a week or Ohio for a week, and hopefully I've killed a good one. I'm not going up there to chase that. I'm going up there to shoot the first mature deer or something that, if my heart thumps, he's dead. Like if
Right.
it thumps, he's dead. That's my motto. And whether that's a 2-year-old 8-pointer, a 7-year-old 6-pointer, or just a big old 5.5-year-old 160-inch 10-pointer, it does not matter. If my heart thumps when I see it, I'm shooting. And
No, yeah, I get that. And honestly, like I will say, like, you want a little Iowa non-resident Iowa hack. It's like late musket is the hack. If you want to come to Iowa more often, hunt late muzzleloader. Hunt the late season. I will say, I'm not afraid to like say that little hack because it's tough, dude. Like late season is tough.
It's not the rut.
It's not the rut. It's not the rut. And especially if you're pounding public, I will tell you this right now. Good luck. Like it is hard. And to the people there's plenty of people that do shoot giants in Iowa during late muzzleloader. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm not saying that. I'm saying legitimately saying like good luck. Like it is significantly more difficult. More difficult than bow hunting. I would say even with a muzzleloader, late muzzleloader in Iowa is way harder unless you do have the food and the spot that is not so pressured. Because if you do have that, you are going to be loaded up with deer and it's going to be the easiest hunt of your life. But I'm talking like pressured ground during late muzzleloader, it's tough.
So that you remember the deer that my buddies that were hunting with me, the deer that they had on camera that they were hunting while we were all up there?
Yes.
That big 9-pointer?
Yep.
Mid 160s. Dad goes up in late muzzleloader, and after that, so he drew that year late muzzleloader. It goes up there and almost shoots that deer twice. One time does messed him up, and the other time he got smelled during late muzzleloader, and that's on public land. So it can happen. But I've hunted late muzzleloader in Ohio, but I'm in the very heavily wooded area. You've got to focus on food, and you might as well not even hunt the mornings. Just go hunt the evenings. If you can find food, just hold on.
But that's the other thing. I think he had 2 good opportunities at that deer. Didn't kill him though. But it's just kind of one of those things.
And he had a gun, and he had a muzzleloader.
Yep. I'm just saying, like, I'm definitely not saying it's not impossible. It's definitely 100% possible, but it's significantly harder is all it is. So it's like, that's why me personally, it's like one of those things where like I always thought, I'm like, that's weird that Iowa would have the gun tags be easier to draw than their bow tags. But then I started thinking about more. I'm like, well, it's kind of just harder. It's just harder
you
to
think
kill
about it like this.
deer
A lot of people are tagged
during a
out.
late muzzleloader. Yeah.
A lot of people are tagged out. A lot of people's, let's just be honest. Let's be honest here. Let's just break it down here.
Break it down.
A lot of men's wives are not going to be cool with you leaving around Christmas.
Well, that is true too.
Especially for non-residents.
And it's fucking cold.
It's very, very cold. Most people have spent their life savings on Christmas for their kids, and which that's what they want to do. That's totally fine. We don't do that. They get 3 gifts and then we take them on a trip. So, but the idea is they're like, I'm not going up there because what if there's a blizzard? And which is very, very possible in parts of Ohio, especially in northern Ohio. You get in those blizzard areas where the whole entire time you hunt, it might be 12 inches to 18 inches of snow. And and if you don't have food, you're like honey locust or locust pods is about the only thing you got going for you on the Iowa Public.
Yeah.
If you find locust pods, maybe. But
unless you get lucky with some good marshland and stuff like that, and have some of that weird, that random green that grows up in marshland or stays green that doesn't completely freeze over. So it's like that kind of stuff. A lot of times they'll eat that late season too, but it's just kind of
the public land has find some beans
somewhere.
Yeah, if the public land has some beans on it, then you might share that field with 3 other people, because
right.
that's the biggest thing is because everybody's like, oh, well, I saw 10 deer out on this public land field. I'm going to go out there. Well, then you go over there and you got to take a number just to find a beanstalk to get behind. It's the problem is, man, is everybody wants to hunt Iowa. Late muzzleloader would be the thing to do. But even this comes from out of stater, and I know to a lot of people they may not like hearing this, especially in the Midwest. But I'm going to book an outfitter, or I'm going to pay somebody if I'm going to come up there late muzzleloader. Because
dude, I would. That's kind of what I was getting at.
Maximizing my opportunity.
100%. That's what I was kind of getting at with the whole public land's fucking hard. I'm not lying. It is hard, but I'm saying if you find a spot that has good food and it's not super pressured, you're going to have good hunts. It's going to be slam dunk hunts. They're going to be awesome.
Yeah.
So hint, find an outfitter or some permission or something, because you're going to have better odds. And I'm the same way, dude. I'm like, I don't want to hunt, especially, this might sound crazy, but especially white-tailed deer. I don't want to hunt whitetails in a different state unless I have an outfitter. It's not because I don't know how to hunt. It's not because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. It's because I want access to your land, dude.
Yeah. I want to maximize my opportunity. If I'm taking time away from my family and I'm going to spend money, I'm going to maximize my opportunity. And it's going to be like, hey, I'm getting in touch with Austin to come and stay with him, so I can take that money that I would normally spend on a hotel and may go coerce somebody or a sweet little old grandma and talk shit to her enough to where I say, hey, honey, I'll give you $500 if you'll let me hunt your ground for a week or something, or hey, I'll give you $200 for some information, on where to go. Point me in the right direction. So a lot of people, they try to do their homework, and map scouting is huge, obviously, right now. But doing your homework, when it comes to getting permission from private landowners, things like that, anymore, it's not, oh, I'll show up and cut your grass, or I'll weed eat, or I'll help you put in fence or whatever. It's, hey, man, I'll give you a couple $100 just for some information, or hey, man, and that's what Spookspan does. That's what Lee Ellis does. That's what everybody in the big industry does. Now, I don't have that type of expendable income. My wife would absolutely divorce me or kill me, but be willing to do what it takes to be able to get the information you need to start, or so you can be successful. And that's what I did. That's what you do. That's what everybody that I know that are genuine big buck killers that go out of state or to go to different areas that they've never been to. I mean, right now, Jacob, would you have took off and just went to Kansas Public during rifle? Probably not. But we have
tough.
Yeah. We have there's a good connection. Peanut is basically a partner of WCB, it seems like. And he's a great friend, and he's afforded us or extended us opportunities, and you're taking it. Why wouldn't you? You'd be dumb if you did.
Oh, right. Yeah, and it's the other thing. It's like I definitely have thought about hunting Kansas, but whenever I think about hunting out of state whitetails, it's archery because it's a lot. It's dude, the rut. I'm telling you, that's what it is. It's the rut. It's the rut. It's like you go out there and you hunt during the rut. It's like your odds not only are exponentially better, but you're just going to have higher quality sits. And it's just fun. Like you just get to drive when you're driving around. You're like deer running. You're like, oh my god, this is fucking.
There's a giant. There's a 160 out the middle of the cornfield with a doe.
Yeah, it just gets you all jazzed up. So it makes you feel good and all this other stuff. But like during rifle season, gun season, stuff like that. Like honestly, I don't know. Like tromping. Unless I would go to Kansas and hunt rifle season on public, as if I got 3 or 4 or 5 friends with me. Then we could go, we could go out there and have some fun.
Me and you
and do some shit,
and Austin, all of us take. Okay, I'm gonna ask you this: is this the first time you've ever been out of state hunting whitetails with a neck down cartridge and not shooting straight wall?
Yeah, this will be my first time hunting out of state for whitetails. Period. The only time I've really hunted out of state
was South Dakota for antelope.
Yeah, no, yeah. So I'm trying to think. I hunted out in Idaho twice for elk. Didn't get nothing. I did hunt pronghorn in South Dakota. I hunted pronghorn in New Mexico, which I did kill on, which is awesome. That was that Hunt Wars deal. So that's on YouTube.
Yeah, I saw that. I watched that.
Looking like a damn fool out there. But did that, and then and that's about it. I think. Yeah. So this will be my first time hunting. Well, I don't know. Besides Africa and stuff like that, because that's technically out of state too. It's out of the country. But
I hope your liver is ready
to drink for drinking a peanut.
Yeah, to drink with peanut.
Yeah. I'm not drinking a margarita mix. I'll tell you that. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, I'm into that.
For me, I have horrible indigestion, and that just sounds like heartburn essential, dude. I don't want to deal with that heartburn and the sugar. Like I'm 34 years old, brother. I can't just dissolve 1,000 grams of sugar anymore and just be wake up and be no big deal. I'm going to wake up.
Still blows my mind. You're only 3 days older than me.
I'm what?
Still blows my mind. You're only 3 days older than me.
3 days older.
You're April 27th, right?
That's right.
I'm 30th.
Yeah, well, I'm still older, you bitch. So make sure you listen to me.
Hey, you know what? Good things come to those who wait. My daddy waited 3 more days, okay? Daddy waited 3 more days.
No, your mom waited 3 more days. Your dad couldn't give a fuck. No,
my dad didn't blow my mom until 3 days later than your dad did. So that's terrible.
Yeah. Well, she told him no. That. Knock it off. Not yet. He's like, fine.
Yeah. I was gonna say you're out for an elk hunting trip.
Yeah, so it is kind of one of those things where it's damn, dude, you don't like to think about that because they're your parents and it's weird and it's gross, but
I can't wait till my kids get older. And I'm like, hey, y'all don't come back here if there's a locked door. And they're like, why? It's because I bang your mom, I'm going to do it. I promise you there will be a time. And I know my wife will absolutely hate it because my wife would absolutely hate that, but I don't care because I'm looking for the moment where my son talks back to me. I'm like, well, you think about how you talk to me. I'm going to go bang your mom real quick.
Yeah, your beautiful mother, it makes you pancakes.
Yeah.
You just wait.
Yeah, I'm gonna smash that. You like smash burgers? I'm gonna smash your mom.
She ain't as sweet as you think she is. You know,
she's dirty.
She can get wild.
Sorry, honey. Which I know my wife is not going to listen to this. So
no, she's not going to. My wife will listen to this because she will be editing some of the clips and shit, so she'll hear it. So I'm not going to say anything crazy. Ashley, I love you. You're great, Ashley. And all the things. But no, it is kind of weird when you have the talk with your kid. Just kind of
I'm not ready for it. Yeah, the other day, I probably shouldn't say this on the podcast, but I really don't give a fuck. The other day, was in there doing our marital duties with each other, and we hear a light knock on the door, and I'm thinking it's my 3-year-old. Yeah, and I hear a light knock again. And I hear a light knock again. I'm like, whoever it is, go the fuck away. And I hear running, and I can tell it's my 6-year-old.
Oh, no.
So we finished our marital duties, and I go back in there, and I'm like, buddy, what? And he goes, I was just seeing what you were doing. I'm like, if that door's locked and you knock and we don't answer, turn around and walk away. And he goes, what were y'all doing? I said, we were having tense fellowship. Now leave us alone. That's what it is. That's what it is.
We were just barely sleeping, and you woke us up. Now I'm pissed. That'd be a nice thing to say.
It was 1 o'clock. It was after church. That's our day. Sunday's our day.
In the middle of the day.
Oh, dude, morning time for me, man. Morning time is the best for me. That's when you should know this. You're a behemoth of a man. Your testosterone is peaked in the morning. Maybe. And then I see my beautiful wife in her church clothes, and my wife is, God dang, dude. She gets dressed up and all pretty, man. And we're sitting there, and then we go eat lunch, and I'm just staring at her the whole time. I'm like, hey, we going in for an afternoon nap. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's I just can't help it, man.
Yeah, that's good for you. That's great. I'm real happy for you, Jordan.
Thanks.
Sounds like a good time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Praise the Lord and praise my wife, same time.
That's right. Great. Perfect. That's awesome, dude.
Well, I'm excited for you, man. I hope that you absolutely thump a mega giant in Kansas. I think you deserve it. I hope you kill one bigger than that one.
I'm excited for you, Jordan, because Sunday's gonna roll around before I get to Kansas, so you're gonna be in the chips before I am. If after that story you just told.
Yeah, maybe. But I'll probably be deer hunting this Sunday. It's deer season.
Are you?
So all that Sunday talk I just talked about, it's deer season. So yeah, I'll be waiting until 12:30 and I'll be going in the woods. So
that's off-season stuff.
Yeah, that's off-season stuff. That's the 9 months of off-season. But no, that's like, I'm excited for you because
I appreciate you.
I think you'll kill a big one because I know, here's the thing. If anybody's wanting to book a hunt and you can't get a hold of Peanut, just look up Small Town Hunts. He is the man. He is going to be more excited for you to kill a deer than you are. I can promise you that. He is going to pull up there with a cold beer in hand to enjoy it with you because everybody wants somebody to enjoy a deer kill with. I promise you he's going to be that happy. Dude, are you friends with him on Snapchat?
I don't think so. I also don't use Snapchat a whole lot.
You don't use Snapchat. Dude, I get snaps almost every day.
I kind of fucking hate Snapchat.
But then why don't you delete it?
Well, I've thought about it, but then I'm in these fucking stupid groups, like the WCB groups and shit. And then I have friends that, like, for some reason love Snapchat, so they always get a hold of me through Snapchat. I'm like, dude, what the fuck, man? Just
regular text me.
Just fucking text me, dude. And like, but then there's other times where I'm like, I want to send something funny to like some friends or my wife or whatever else, but I don't want to send it to them in a text. I do just want it to go. I do just want it to go away afterwards.
It's a great messaging service. Like, it's good to have.
Yeah, but I don't like how they're feeding you ads anymore in their stupid fucking little TikTok side. Like everyone's trying to be fucking TikTok now, and it's just kind of like I don't want to end you. I want old Snapchat back, where it's just a messaging service between friends.
Exactly. Well,
that's what I want.
But what I was saying about it is Peanut sends like Snapchats every day or every other day of his clients killing mega giants. One of his clients just killed a 170s deer. And so he has got the outfit. He does. He knows what he's doing. And here's the thing. All right. So if you go to an outfitter, I've only been to one outfitter in my entire life. And you could tell this guy was a hunter. He knows animals. Mm-hmm. And Peanut knows whitetail. That man knows how to kill a whitetail as much as he does know how to guide. So go book you a hunt with Small Town Hunts and say you heard it on the Victory Drive podcast. They'll hook you up.
Shit, man. I didn't even need to be on this podcast. You could just done everything yourself. Great.
You're the host. You're the host.
I know, but you're doing a good job, dude. Do you host a podcast too yourself? Or what?
So, dude, I thought about it. So I thought about starting one, talk about Sunday after church. That's what I'm going to call it. Sunday after church.
Sexy time Sunday after church.
Sexy time Sunday after church.
Okay, right.
It's actually going to be on OnlyFans. That's what it is.
Shit.
Only praise. Praise only. Farmers only.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah. Oh my God, dude, it's getting late. It's getting late.
Oh, geez. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. You're an hour ahead of me. So, but Jordan, I don't even know if I said it before or not, but everyone knows you. You're a great guy. You're hunting the Mason Dixon podcast, and it's just always fun to have you on. I always say this. I love podcasting with Southerners because you motherfuckers can talk, and
we got the stories.
It's awesome. You got great stories. You guys have great emphasis on your stories. You're detailed. It's just great. Like, I love talking to you guys. Like, Southerners got it going on when it comes to talking. Y'all know how to conversate, is what I'm saying.
When Kurt, came to me about asking if I wanted to do this podcast, I was like, there's no way that I would be good at this. And I'm not saying that I'm great at it or anything like that, but I'm like, man, this is something actually I really do think that I'd be good at. And it has done very well. And I've been very appreciative to be a part of the family and of the working class family, and then being able to be, the friendships and everything that it has created, being able to have my avenue. You and I just kind of like, hey man, you want to hop on a podcast tomorrow? Yep, let's do it. Come on. And it's going to come naturally. It doesn't matter what the topic of conversation is it's just natural conversation. Because one, we're friends as much as we are, colleagues in this game of podcasting, and even on being on the same network, it doesn't matter. It comes easily. It comes naturally to be able to tell these conversations to you, because I know you genuinely do care whenever I tell you these stories, and and the people, your listeners, do actually care. And so I'll tell you, a lot of Southerners and people like us, we really don't care if you care. We're going to tell you how we would want to hear it in the first place. But it does help, that I can be, I can be very detailed in my stories. So it makes it work well for podcasts and
for sure.
Podcast guests. Yes,
absolutely.
But dude, this was fun, man. I really appreciate you having me on. I enjoy sitting down, getting to talk to you. We're so far away. We're 18, 19 hours away apart. So it's fun to catch up.
Oh yeah, for sure. And it's just like, I don't know. We worked through the technical difficulties and it worked out pretty well. It's just, sometimes you just can't, get face to face, and it is what it is. It's not a big deal. But
I can't wait. You bring that damn big ass trailer down here. We're gonna podcast in a trailer.
God, it's gonna be fun, dude. It's gonna be a good time. But
I've got you some gun guys for down here, man. That would do it. My buddy Josh Baldwin, he helps me on my podcast a lot. He'll hop on as like he's my Doug basically, and he's a big gun guy, so he'd be great for you. And I've got a lot of people that reload and are long range shooters and stuff like that you would, when you make your way to North Carolina, I'll have you 8 or 10 guests lined up.
Hell yeah. Sounds like a plan. I like it. Well, I appreciate you coming on, Jordan. You're a good guy. Don't let anyone know. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. All right.
Thanks.
Keep your head up.
You.
Love you too, buddy.